It's July 11th, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have a bell that broke almost as soon as it spoke, a disappearance that has never been solved, and a teenage king destined to rule while battling a devastating disease. Let's begin. On July 11th, 1859, a deep metallic voice echoed through London for the very first time. High inside the newly completed clock tower, the great bell struck the hour. Londoners would soon know it as Big Ben. But that famous sound was a secret already carved into bronze. The original bell, cast in 1856, weighed nearly 16 tons, and before ever being lifted into the tower, testing caused it to crack beyond repair. It had been broken apart, melted down, and recast into a slightly smaller bell. Then, on July 11th, Big Ben finally spoke. But the triumph only lasted 2 months. In September, an oversized hammer struck the bell with such force that it cracked again. Engineers faced a choice: remove the enormous bell or silence it forever. Instead, they turned it nearly 90 degrees, cut a square into the middle to stop the fracture from spreading, and installed a lighter hammer. The bell survived, and the damaged, slightly imperfect tone heard across London today is not the sound of a flawless bell. Big Ben's famous voice is not the sound of perfection, it is the sound of a bell that survived being broken twice. On July 11th, 1972, 17-year-old Dolores Della Penna stepped off a trolley into Philadelphia and began a short walk home. She was only 1 block away. Dolores had recently graduated with honors and spent the evening with friends. Just before midnight, somewhere along that route, she vanished. A witness later described hearing screams and seeing a young girl struggle as she was forced into a vehicle. For 11 days, Dolores' family waited for news. Then, remains were discovered in a separate location across the isolated Pine Barrens of New Jersey, but the discovery only deepened the mystery. Investigators found no reason why they would target Dolores. She had no known connections to crime, drugs, or dangerous people. Years later, informants claim a motorcycle gang may have killed her after receiving false information that she or someone else close to her had stolen drugs. Detectives immediately identified possible suspects, but witnesses disappeared, evidence was missing, and key figures died before charges could be filed. More than 50 years later, Dolores' final journey still remains unknown. On July 11th, in the year 1174, the throne of Jerusalem passed to a 13-year-old boy carrying a terrifying secret. His name was Baldwin IV. Years earlier, his tutor had noticed something disturbing during a childhood game. While the other boys cried out in pain, Baldwin felt nothing. The numbness was early signs of leprosy, and after the death of his father, the sickly teenager had inherited one of the most dangerous kingdoms in the world. At first, regents ruled in his place, but Baldwin refused to remain hidden behind palace walls. As the disease slowly weakened his body, he became a fearless military leader. Then, at only 16, Baldwin led a heavy outnumbered army against the forces of Saladin. Against all expectations, the teenage king won. For years, Baldwin defended Jerusalem through battle, diplomacy, and sheer determination. But his illness never stopped advancing. By the end of his life, he was blind and unable to use his hands or feet, and he died only in his 20s. 2 years after his death, Jerusalem fell. The boy king had not defeated fate, he only held it back. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next eerie dose is just a day away.